If you haven't learned yet about Six Sigma, just Google it. It's one of the top 100 business innovations in the last 100 years. And it changes the way people think. And I think Tanya is a great example of that. So, why don't we talk a little bit about the great community of Six Sigma and the great discovery, Tanya, if you would?
Yeah, absolutely. Can we just get an understanding of everybody? Are you guys course creators? Is anybody a course creator here? You guys can raise your hands. I think I can see everybody. So, is anybody a course creator here? Okay. Is
Brad
anybody?
will be because I'm going to make him one, and
Yeah.
I'm going to interview people to help them create their course.
Come on now. Okay,
So
look.
everybody here is a course creator because
I
this is
love
the
it.
group to be in.
I love it. Yeah. So, does anybody have amazing transformation or knowledge that when you've spoken to somebody, you've helped somebody break through in some way, shape, or form? Okay, there we go. Now I'm getting some here. Okay, so with that being said, yes, you have knowledge that you can give to the world. I like to call it legacy mode. A lot of times we're building, and we don't actually think of what we're leaving behind, right? And I started thinking to myself, I started this when my kids were really, really young. I started writing letters to them when they were young. Each and every one of my children have a book. And then when they graduate, they get all the letters and wisdom. I have pictures and poems and all types of stuff that I was leaving behind. And so then I thought to myself, about last year, I was like, wow, I know I'm coaching. I know I'm going through this process. And this was right around actually September, October of last year. And I thought to myself, there has to be more though. I really want to like not do maybe the coaching part, but dive in and write the books and leave a legacy. Like I'm looking at the leaders of leaders, right? How can I impact more? It's different talking one on one with one person or even in a group. But when you talk to the leader of leaders, that's totally different, right? And so that's when Great Discovery popped up. And it was just so divine, right? And I realized that I could go into legacy mode and start pouring out everything in my brain and putting it into whether I believe people need it or not. Somebody needed it, right? Somebody needs it. And so I would pour it in and start developing all the different courses and so on and so forth. I did exactly what Mike was talking about, interviewing and then taking that, transcribing it, and then making 9 forms of content. Okay, from audio to books to courses. Did you know that you can go on Fiverr and submit a whole series of interviews? And there are people on there that will make a full-fledged 12 module, all the lessons course for you while you're doing what you love to do, right? So the Great Discovery helped me eliminate a lot of the different excuses. And then where do we go from here? Well, everybody's like, well, I don't know about marketing and I don't know if I should do this and that. And guess what? We have affiliates, those that really love your knowledge and they want to market it to others. And that's what they love to do. I think that we have to understand that while some of us are teachers, some of us are connectors, right? Some of us are creators. Some of us are more like shepherds, right? We kind of shepherd over people and we do one on one coaching or we bring them through this transformation and we're excited about that transformation. And I noticed that in order for me to accelerate and do what I do best and sit and really meditate on the things and just of that I've been through in the world and through my life that and really make it tangible for others in a productive way, I needed connectors. And so instead of hiring and paying mass amounts of trying to figure out, okay, I got to get a marketing team and a social media team and all that team, and I got to post free content and I got to post 5 times a day and I got to then keep up with all of the AI interventions. And oh my gosh, I get tired thinking about it, right? And so that's when the Great Discovery opened up the eyes because it also creates 7 streams of income. So in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, not only am I establishing this legacy mode, but I'm also being more cost effective. And what was really cool about it is I remember playing, $20,000, $30,000 for programs. I'm sure that some of you guys have even offered, just like myself, $20,000, $30,000 for different programs, right? And here's the thing. There were a lot of people that weren't ready for those programs. They honestly did not, they weren't able to digest. They weren't at the level of leadership. They might have had funds, and barely, even if that, they went into debt. They weren't ready. And what I like about the Great Discovery is I'm able to guide people into this place with not only my content, but other people's content. That's number one. So now what I'm able to do is take one course that maybe like I'm teaching, and then I tell them, hey, as a bonus, go watch this course. So for instance, if I want to, teach like Tommy on, I love that living insurance, you don't have to die to use it. I love it. Right. So it's so cool. So if I want to share on any aspect about that, I can. Right. If I want to be able to talk about, maybe investing or other opportunities as streams of income or whatever, I could maybe Brad had a course. Right. And so I can actually incorporate that. And now I'm even more powerful because I'm able to cause such a different transformation. And then from there, I was able to now have mansion masterminds where I rent out a mansion. And now I have the $20,000, $30,000 programs where you can come and we completely gut out everything. I mean, we're scaling you completely in every aspect, shape, and form, simplifying, looking at the mind, body, spirit, all those aspects. And now I'm actually with individuals that can handle it. Now I'm actually with the leader of leaders because I've created a tier, right? To where it's digestible. So with the Great Discovery, it's backed by Six Sigma. And what happens is when you look at Six Sigma, it's so detail oriented. It's very numbers based. So it's all about results. It's not about emotion. So take out all of the emotion and I'm going to look at your statistics. I'm looking at your numbers. I'm looking at conversion rates. I'm looking at all of that. Not everybody likes that. That could be overwhelming. So what they did was they made the fourth generation. The fourth generation of Six Sigma actually makes it to where they give you this catalyst, this thought process of what you want to accomplish, right? Whether it's in health and finance, business, all the different categories within our lives. There's usually 9 of them, right? And then it starts to walk you through being able to, at the base form, right? To be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish and hold you accountable throughout the way. Now, here was the thought process though. Have you ever been in a coaching program and it's all great, but let's just say they didn't have fitness classes and maybe health was your area, or they didn't have finance classes, but finance was your area. So they're telling you to think of something that you're going to break through, but they yet don't have the capabilities to do that. Now the mindset, yes, but you need some additional resources. I've been there. That's how the course creators came about. They then said, while somebody's taking the Great Discovery and focusing on whatever area of their life they want to focus on, this is what we're going to do. We're going to tell them to go take the courses that are within that category. So that way they can do what's best for them. Now you have a different way of thinking and you're breaking the mold of current education, right? Because I promise you, if we're looking at education now, it's completely outdated. It's pretty much obsolete. It's unfortunate that our children even have to go through this education model that they're going through, especially when they're entrepreneurs and creatives and everything. They're just dwindling in their creative abilities because it's not really meant for our youth. It's meant to train them in a corporate mindset. And so it's not even helping them understand if you're looking at colleges. And I know I've gone for my doctorate and all that good stuff, so I know it. But guess what? When you look at the textbooks, they're outdated. They are talking about commerce and business all the way back from 20, 30, 40 years ago. That's so outdated. I mean, in 6 months, everything's going to change, right? And so this is where when we adopted all the courses, we're like, let's look at all these professionals. Because Maury is a professional in an area, Leah, Joe, all of you guys, Ron, you guys are all masters in an area, whether we think it or not. And so this is how we leverage the Great Discovery. And then my heart was to make sure that we understood how to push this wonderful, brilliant wisdom across all platforms, right? So if you don't know the Great Discovery, the beautiful part about it too is that in one click of a button, you can actually translate your English into multiple languages, any language. And you can also promote, if you want, the platform in multiple countries, and it will convert the entire platform into their language and their currency. So have you ever tried to sell a program for $1,000, but then you go into Singapore? That $1,000 is so different in Singapore. It is not a US dollar, okay? And so a lot of people can't participate. So it's helping you expand across the globe, which is pretty much unheard of in a lot of the areas at the cost, at the investment, right? That we have it. And then where I came in with Builder is I thought to myself, I despise MLM. I don't know if you guys are in the same area, but I don't like MLM. I don't like network marketing. And why don't I like it? Because they don't lead with love. They don't lead with the value and the people and the product. Most of them individuals that go through it are very salesy. They're in this desperate lack of money mindset. They don't get the mindset training. They're inboxing, they're spamming. And I thought to myself, we have these brilliant course creators. And let's say Maury makes an amazing course. And then we have somebody that's not trained on how to sell it. And they're salesy. And they're manipulative. And it's not going to work. It's not attractive. And that's where the Builder came in, providing a system and then high-level training that will hopefully change the industry and how information education is received. And so, thank you for being a part of that and the growth and development of that. I would love to support each and every one of you guys because you guys have a message, a legacy. You guys didn't work so hard doing what you're doing to leave nothing behind, right? I'm sure Brad can attest to investment and going through, you're looking at all of the things that you're leaving behind. But we also not just leave financials behind and legacy, but we also have wisdom. A lot of what we're building our businesses on and the mind breaking principles that we learn are from those thought leaders that have long passed, but have left books and courses that have revolutionized. I mean, they're still 20, 30, 40, 50 years later. We are still learning from the principles that they taught. And I believe that that lies within each and every one of you because however Ron sees something is different from how Tommy sees it and different how I see it. But guess what? If we all come together and Joe listens to Ron and then I hear Joe and then I'm like, oh my gosh, it finally clicked, right? But it took Ron to step out to do what he needed to do. So that is what the Great Discovery is all about. It's helping you reach all of your goals and keeping everything within a container, a system, and then being able to make sure that it reaches the masses in multiple languages. So that way nobody goes without and that we can honestly transform the way that education is done. And we also have a youth program. So we're hoping to get that also launched after we have more of the adult programs. And so we're looking at all the teenagers and all the little ones as well that are homeschooled. We actually have one of the top leading homeschool professionals. He has his own school that is also on the staff. He's actually one of the co-owners there and he's phenomenal. And we're taking a look at what all that is going to look like for our youth. So I can imagine your courses being translated in all languages and for homeschoolers between, kindergarten and up. I don't know if that excites you, but that excites me because now we're making an actual impact and I can get behind that, right? But we're also making the finances behind that and growing teams to change their minds and giving them the assets that they need to do the very thing to reach nations and serve each other's destinies.
Tanya, thank you so much. There's so much to say here in this time, in this era. In the era of AI, we all need to become learner teachers. Because if you are a teacher or a coach, but if you're not also a learner, in the era of AI, you're going to be outdated. And I will have to say, if you were a teacher and you're not a learner in the era of AI, you're not my teacher because you have to be able to stay current. So if you're already a coach and you think, well, I'm already a coach, but today we all have to put on, our learning hat and our teaching hat as well. So like Tanya, and that's the beauty of Six Sigma and the Great Discovery is support and community. That to me is job number one. And that's why I created the Supercampus to bring in the world's top experts from Oxford University, from Caltech, Stanford, and bringing them in to monitor. And like I had actually had a friend of mine from Oxford University MBA grill Tim Taylor, the CEO of the Great Discovery and Six Sigma, to find out if he thought that everything was really legitimate and credible and top drawer, top of the line, and 100%. It checked out from that standpoint. And you can buy a lot of things, but you can't earn an Oxford MBA without being the real deal. So, so that's significant. We also are helping protect people from AI. So we're putting on AI media marketing literacy to protect all citizens of America with the Commonwealth Club to make sure that you're not fooled by a fake or a fraud, or don't vote for the wrong person or the wrong bill or the wrong candidate. Whatever party, you just want to make sure you're making the right decisions, and you have to be able to tell what's real and what's not in products or purchases or anything else. So I look at AI business networking as being vitally important because you spend time with somebody like Tanya, she's real. You spend time with somebody like Brad Warren, he's real. You're not, nobody's pulling the wool over your eyes, so then you can give legitimate testimonials. So we have the ways and means to really grow this group. The chamber just launched it on Monday. I'm going to be reaching out and networking with key people in the city of Lafayette. We're going to be focusing on, and if you click on, if you want all the leads in the world, even if there wasn't a lot of attendees here, let me explain what you will get. Now, in AI business networking, if you click on the Experience Lafayette Business Directory, it's orange. It's an orange button. That'll take you right there. There are 400 leads from Lafayette, the 14th wealthiest community in America. So if you want to be able to network immediately, you can go directly, and their phone number is right there. The phone number is listed right on the website. So you now have 400 leads by networking, by pointing it out. We're also going to be, networking with chambers of commerce in the 4 cities around us. So we have hundreds and hundreds of people, but we had to have kind of a launch day, and I didn't want to launch until I was ready. When I had AI Business Networking magazine, so I can tell your narrative story in a graphic form to leave your legacy to your family. It's almost like a graphic novel, graphic short stories. It's almost like Ask Ron. It's almost a little bit like a comic book about you and your family. Am I right, Ron? You're muted. Thumbs up, he says. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So what we're going to be doing, guys, on Fridays, look at the blue button on the top of AI Business Networking. That is for our Friday recording meeting. That's when Ron and I get together, and we've been doing this for a long time. And we're recording greeting meetings and invitations so that you can reach out to other networkers, invite them to our speed networking events on Tuesday, invite them to a greeting meeting, and using your story to invite them to another networking event. One thing all networkers have in common: an interest in networking. So when you are a friend in commerce and you say, I met you at a networking event, I liked you, I'd like to invite you to another networking event because I know you like them. Well, this one's different because we focus not only on networking, that's a good start, but what we focus on is checking in and following up. Checking in and following up. I do that with God every day, every morning. That's the first thing I do. So, you want to check in with follow up with your friends, with your family, and with your fellow networkers. So check in with them, follow up with your story, invite them with a win. because the only way they can get the link to the speed networking event is to click on your story. The link is on your story. And then after you connect, invite them to a greeting meeting. Just get to know each other. It's friendly. It's not, it's not anything that they're going to reject. Or anything you need to be fearful of. You literally begin to get to know each other. You can read their story because some people like to read. Some people like to listen. We can put audio or video in it. We can do a lot of things. So if you join us at 9 a.m. on Friday morning, I will interview you. You can invite your friends there. I will interview them. We want to tell narrative storytelling. We want to introduce them to the Supercampus, to artificial intelligence, and to the great discovery. So we're about wrapped up here. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. We have this recorded. This will become a podcast on our YouTube channel. You'll find our YouTube channel on the Super Campus. And like Ron did, he commented. When I post on the YouTube channel, he posts a comment, and please like it and give us your comments because that's checking in and following up. So if you fill in the form, tell us whatever you want. With AI, we can literally deliver virtually anything you want, but we need to know what that is. So click on the form, share it with us, and even vent. If you are really tired of going to networking events and not getting much out of it, vent about that, and we'll show you some great solutions. But we're not mind readers. Even AI is not a mind reader. So we have to know what you want so we can help you get it. We want to be able to deliver the goods. And with AI Business Networking, Yeah Magazine, Six Sigma, The Great Discovery, all of the great leaders and wonderful teachers inside of The Great Discovery, like Tanya, and many, many others that you will meet that I've interviewed that are on the Prosperity Super Campus. We're networking with Oxford, with the Commonwealth Club, where presidents of the United States have spoken. So we know how to get the world leaders involved to help us grow globally. So I want to thank every single one of you because every single one of you here is a leader. Tanya is one that I went, holy cow, this is a superstar. And the more I've gotten to know her, the more I became convinced of it. So that's how you can really give great testimonials for people. So any final questions, guys? Or put them in the form if you have them. But thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for hosting.
My pleasure.
Hello.
Yeah, how
Hi,
can they sign
everybody.
up for the Great Discovery?
Hi.
Going to the AI Super Campus and sign up for any course, any free course. And there is even a video at the very top of the Super Campus that goes right to the Great Discovery. Says, okay, this is where you go. This is how you sign up. Just do this. It's free. And it points out exactly how to do it. So all you have to do is go to the AI Super Campus, watch the very top video. That'll walk you right through it. Scroll down the free courses on the Super Campus. Pick any one, free ones. And if you sign up under me on the Super Campus, I will give you my free bonus coaching as well and introduce you to everything that you need through AI and business networking.